Hello, everybody. My name is Miracle. I am an English teacher, and this is my student, John. His name is Ivan. We call him John. He's from Russia. John, say hello to everyone.
Hello,
How old are you, John?
I'm 14.
And how long have you been studying English?
I have been studying English for 2 years
And why do you study English so much?
I'm studying English so much because um, I want to travel when I grow up, and and it will help me. Uh, and it will help me in my job.
Good. Okay. Why do you study English so much? What tense is that? Why do you study?
Present simple, simple
Yeah,
present,
simple present. And your response was, I am studying. What tense is that?
uh, present continuous,
Right. So I asked you the question in simple present. You probably should answer in.
simple present.
Okay. So why do you study English so much?
Um, because
John, answer with a full sentence.
I'm going to. I'm studying English because
No, we need
uh,
to fix this. Not I am studying. Use
I
simple
start.
present.
I study English because I'm. I want to travel when I grow up.
Okay. Why do you study English so much?
I study English so much because I want to travel when I grow up.
Okay, good job. My goodness. Are you ready for Magoosh?
Yes.
Okay, guys. So what we are doing today is a question from Magoosh's GRE exam. There's some information about Magoosh online, and there's information about the GRE exam. This is basically a placement test for usually native English speakers who want to go to graduate school in the US. John is 14. He's been working really hard on his English. So I see him a couple of times a week. And for about 15 to 20 minutes, we work on one of these questions. So this is not all that John does for his English studies. This is just a part of what he does. Okay, John, so share your screen, please. Okay. There we go. Okay, so please read your question.
For each blank, select one word from each column that best completes the sentence.
Mm-hmm.
The contention that Hopkins' extensive anthropological fieldwork led to a unified theory is blank close scrutiny reviews a blank of observations that at times even prove blank one other.
One another.
One another.
Okay, so let me go ahead and say, for those of you watching this, you know that this is difficult for native speakers, and surely it's difficult for John. A lot of these questions are very difficult for me as well. So what we are doing is basically just pushing him, getting him to go outside of his comfort zone and try something extremely difficult. And when he has tests, he will not be so intimidated by them. So there are those of you who are already, saying that we shouldn't be doing this. But if you look at it in the scope of the big picture, what's happening is 15 to 20 minutes, one or two times a week, is what he is doing that is extremely difficult. The rest of the time, John is working on pronunciation and grammar and exercises and reading and taking classes online. So this is good in the scheme of the big picture. Okay, John, so what are the words that we need to look up first? Before we can look at blanks 1, 2, and 3, we need to understand the first part of the sentence. What is a contention?
The contention is
What is a contention?
a
What does the
contention.
word contention mean?
The word contention means um,
Use your dictionary if you have to.
like approval, affirmation. It's,
No. Let's
huh?
look at the other words. You can't always go with the first one. The contention that, John, go back to the dictionary. We have some other words here. John,
Ah,
what are you doing?
claim,
Okay. Claim is better. Or statement.
claim statement. Yes,
Claim or statement. Please say that.
claim or statement.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm typing notes for you. So contention means a belief or a claim or a statement.
A, con- a, the word contention means a belief, a claim, or a statement.
Good job. What is Hopkins?
Hopkins is the name of the person who who the anthropological field work belongs to Hopkin.
Very good. So we know that Hopkins is possessive. That's exactly what you were just saying. Okay. Extensive,
It's kind of big or growth.
big. It has growth.
Yes,
Does it have a lot of details or a few details?
and a lot of details.
Okay. So the belief that Hopkins big what? What is the noun here?
Uh, and now
What is the noun here?
the noun here is contention.
Oh,
Uh,
that's okay. That's the
uh,
subject. What is the object in this sentence or in this section?
object.
What is the object?
The object is maybe fieldwork.
Yeah, but this is a compound noun.
Uh,
Anthropological
anthropological
fieldwork.
anthropological fieldwork.
Hmm. What is anthropological fieldwork? Let's look up the word anthropology. What does anthropology mean?
It's like mm, human or um,
John, look up the word anthropology. Anthropological is an adjective. We want the noun anthropology.
the start of humankind in
Okay.
particular.
Okay. And what is field work? Do you remember that word?
Fieldwork is um, it's
Field
like
work.
mm, pr- uh, it's practical work or mm,
It's what?
it's
Field work. Those are
uh,
some difficult definitions. Okay, So here's what field work is. Like sometimes you learn things in a classroom, and then sometimes you take things outside of the classroom so that you can learn more. So if you work with animals, maybe you read about them in the classroom, and then maybe you take a trip to the zoo and you work in the zoo for a few months or a few years. That's going to be field work where you get to do something with your hands and your brain. So in the classroom, usually you are just using your brain. You know, you're reading, you're learning, you're doing exercises, but you don't get to use your hands. You don't get to actually work on the thing that you are studying. So field work allows you to go outside of the classroom and actually use your hands with your brain.
Okay, I understand.
Okay. Make sure you say, I understand. Okay.
I understand.
The contention that Hopkins' extensive anthropological fieldwork led to a unified theory is blank. Led to a unified theory. First of all, let's look at what the noun is here. Led to a unified theory. What is the noun?
Theory.
Where's your article?
The theory. The
That's
theory.
not the article in the
Ah,
sentence.
a theory.
Yeah, led to a theory, and then we have the word unified. So what is unified here?
It's an adjective.
It's an adjective because adjectives modify.
Nouns.
Say that again.
Modifies noun.
Your sound is going out, John. Adjectives modify.
Adjectives modify nouns.
Very good. Fieldwork led to a unified theory is blank. So we're looking at a belief here. We're looking at a belief that Hopkins established about anthropological studies. And it led to, people are saying that it led to a unified theory. What is unified?
Unified means united. Like
It means what?
it means united. Theory.
Hmm. Can you use, we don't like to use the same word, what do you call it? Don't use the same word to define a word.
It
So united is like unified. They're similar. Use another word, unified. Do people agree or disagree if you're unified?
agreed.
Okay, so it's a theory where people are agreeing with one another.
It's a theory where people are agreeing with one another.
A unified theory. What is a theory, John?
A theory is it's a like text that is not proven in practice.
And practic?
Uh, uh, right.
Spell it for me. I think you're just pronouncing it wrong. Uh-uh.
I don't know how to spell practical.
Are you trying to say practical?
Like practical, yes.
Uh, well, I don't want to spell it. You can hear the sounds. What do you put on the end for the cull? Practical. Cull. Kind of. Very
Oh,
close.
I forgot I.
Yeah, you forgot the letter I, but that's it. Practical. Type it. There we go. Good job. Practical. Okay, let's go back to Magoosh. So we are looking at something that is proven, something that has been tested. Is it something where someone is guessing? Like if you don't know the answer, you can guess. Is that what a theory is? Can you guess? Is a theory something that you guess?
No.
Okay. John, I'm not sure what's happening. Why are you mumbling?
No. I wasn't numbering.
Okay. Try to speak closer into your microphone. Okay. The contention that Hopkins' extensive anthropological fieldwork led to a unified theory is. Well, we already know what the answers are because we've done this test before, but we need to talk through these answers. Redoubtable. What does that mean?
But
Do you remember how to spell it? Oh, good for you. Good.
as something dangerous or kind of dangerous.
That's one definition. You have some other ones.
Uh, Horrible or no, no.
They're all negative, aren't they?
Yes.
Well, there's another definition though. Brave, courageous, valiant, bold.
Yes, I see.
So it can either mean dangerous or brave, dangerous or courageous. So let's go back.
Suspicious. No. I theory.
What does spacious mean?
Suspicious. And something that is true, that is um, means something that is true or mm, kind of
Okay. Okay, something that is true.
un, unbiased.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it.
Now, hold on. You're not working as hard as you did the first time we did this because you already know what the answer is. But that is not how we are going to review this. Go to dictionary.com. Yeah. Yes, dictionary.com. Uh-huh. And put in the word speeches. This is the dictionary that you should be using. Google Translator is awful.
Suspicious.
Yes, I said it. I said that. Google Translator is awful. Apparently good or right, though lacking real merit. Superficially pleasing. Pleasing to the eye, but deceptive.
Okay.
Apparently good or bad, but it is lacking real merit. What is merit, John?
Married.
Mm.
Ah,
This is the word that we talked about. Excuse me. It is something that is accepted, but without real proof. Do you remember having that conversation?
yeah, actually.
Accepted, but without real proof.
Okay.
So what does redoubtable mean?
Redoubtable means true, something that is true.
Okay, something's going on.
Like, suspicious means something that is true. Redoubtable means something that is car mm, is dangerous or brave, courage, or courageable.
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 Something that is what?
Something that is or dangerous, brave, or brave.
Go to the dictionary, John. Feared, something that is to be feared. You're probably looking at what I typed earlier, dangerous or courageous. Something that is to be feared or respected.
Yes.
Something that is to be feared or respected. So when we look up words, whoops, I spelled proof wrong. When we look up words in the dictionary, sometimes we have to look at several definitions before we get the right one, or before we get the one that fits a situation. So you can't just choose the first one that you see. So the dictionary is not always the answer.
Okay.
Okay, so redoubtable is it means dangerous or courageous, or something that is to be feared or respected. Specious is something that is accepted but without real proof. Okay,
Okay.
let's go back to Magoosh. Unbiased. What does unbiased mean?
Bias means something that is. Let's see, reading. Ah,
Use your dictionary. So those of you watching the video, you can't see that I'm typing notes for him so that he can refer to the definitions. Unbiased. Fair.
fair. Yes.
Let's use the word fair here. Unbiased means fair.
Yes. Now I understand.
Okay. The contention that Hopkins' extensive anthropological fieldwork led to a unified theory is redoubtable. That means dangerous or something that is feared or respected. Or led to a unified theory is specious, which means accepted but without real proof. Or the theory is unbiased. It is fair. And we weren't sure which word to use until we answered the second part of the sentence. So we know that the answer is specious because we've already worked through this, but we have to answer the last part of the sentence in order to understand what's really happening here. John,
Yes, I understand.
read the second part of the sentence.
Cross scrutiny reveals a blank of observations that that's all.
Close scrutiny reveals a blank of observations that at times even prove blank one another. Close scrutiny reveals a blank of observations that at times even prove blank one another. Close scrutiny is the opposite of close scrutiny means to look at something really closely. Do you know what the original verb is here? Scrutiny. What is the verb?
Scrutinize.
Good job. Can you spell it? I was about to spell it. I want you to spell it. Good job, John. What does it mean to scrutinize something?
It means to look at it in particular, and it's to look at it in more details.
Very good. To look at it in more detail, not details. To look at it in more detail. To look at something in more detail. So what does it mean to scrutinize, John?
To look at scrutinize, to scrutinize means to look at something in more detail.
Good job. Okay, let's go back. Close scrutiny reveals a blank of observations. Okay. What is a mere hodgepodge? What is a hodgepodge?
It's a lot of little things like in one place.
A lot of little things mixed together.
Yes.
Mere means little.
Yes.
It's like the adverb just. It's like just a little bit. A mere hodgepodge. Mere hodgepodge means just a little bit. Just a little bit of a mixture. That's not the best way to explain this. Not a little bit. Nothing more than a mixture. Nothing more than a mixture of things. Coherent system.
Coherent. It's like understandable. Connected. And meticulous.
Okay, hold on. Go back to Magoosh. Go back to Magoosh. Remember that what we start with in English is the noun. So when we say mere hodgepodge, what is the noun?
The noun is hodgepodge.
And what is mere?
Mere is an adjective.
So is it going to be helpful to understand the adjective first, or is it going to be better to understand the noun first?
The noun.
Yeah. So when you look at meticulous scaffolding, the adjective could be green. A green scaffolding. Does it help you to understand the word green, or does it help you to understand the word scaffolding?
Scaffolding.
Yeah, let's look up scaffolding first.
Mhm.
Okay, click on scaffold. A temporary structure. Do you know what a structure is?
Yes.
A scaffolding is a temporary structure. So now we know what the noun is. What is the adjective?
The adjective is uh, meticulous.
What is meticulous?
Meticulous is looking like in more details too. In
Meticulous is extremely detailed.
extremely detailed.
Okay, let's go back to Magoosh. So we have a mere hodgepodge, which is a mixture of things, a coherent system, something that we understand, a way of doing something that we understand, meticulous scaffolding. A scaffolding is a temporary structure. A meticulous scaffolding is a very detailed temporary structure.
I understand.
You understand?
Yes.
Okay. Close scrutiny reveals a blank of observations that at times even prove blank one another.
Uh, um.
John,
What to do? Um.
we need to work on blank 3.
Um. Anemical.
Short I.
Anemical.
Inimical.
Anem.
Inimical. 3 short I's. I.
Eh.
Inimical to.
Anemical too.
What does that mean? Unfriendly or hostile.
I understand.
Harmful.
Yes.
What's next?
Uh. Convergent.
Convergent with. John, notice what is this word after inimical? To. What part of the sentence is to?
Preposition.
Convergent with.
Convergent with.
What is with?
With is uh, a preposition.
And susceptible to. When you learn these adjectives, make sure you pay attention to the preposition that follows.
Okay.
Convergent with. Characterized by convergence, coming together or merging. Coming together or merging. Convergent with, coming together or merging with something.
I understand.
Okay.
Susceptible.
Susceptible to.
Susceptible. Wait, no, 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 no.
Good.
Admitted or capable of some specified treatment. Something.
Accessible or especially liable or subject to. Mm, let's say, remember the analogy we talked about going outside with a coat on, without a coat? So if you go outside without a coat, then you may be susceptible to freezing. If you go outside without a coat in Russia for a long time, you could be susceptible to death or sickness or disease because Russia can be very cold, right?
Yes.
So let's say something like sensitive to, can be
Sensitive.
affected by. Susceptible to means it can be affected by. If you go outside without a coat, you can be affected by the cold weather. Susceptible to.
I understand.
Okay. So you chose the right answers. The first time that we did this, sometimes we don't choose the right answers, but this time we did. Um, why don't you read the sentence and put your words in there?
The contention that Hopkins' extensive anthropological fieldwork led to a unified theory is specious. Close is specious. Close scrutiny reveals a mere hodgepodge of observations that at times even prove inimical to one another.
Can you put this in your own words? What does this mean in your own words? The contention that Hopkins' extensive anthropological fieldwork led to a unified theory is specious. What does that mean?
Specious means something that
No, what does the whole section mean?
s- whole section means that uh, that mm, the contention.
In your own words. In your own words. That means don't read it again. Tell me what it means. It's
that
hard. It's hard, I know, but try it.
the agreement that Hopkins um, extensive is extensive. I don't know the other word. Anthropological fieldwork led to a um,
John, you're just reading. Try it. Try to use your own words. I know it's hard, but try it.
I don't know the other word for extensive.
What does
Um,
extensive mean?
Something that is growth and big.
Something that has growth, something
Something
that is big.
something that is big. Something that has growth.
Hmm. And what what line of work are we talking about?
Uh,
What kind of work? Was it in math? Was it in architecture? What field was it?
Anthropological.
Oh, what's the noun?
Anthropology.
Good. In the field of anthropology.
The field of anthropology.
So there was an agreement, there was a belief that Hopkins had done very big and important work, thorough work in the field of anthropology. People said that it led to a unified theory. What does it mean to lead to something?
Lead to something means like kind of mean or uh,
To lead to something.
to insert something out of something.
Oh, okay. So to find, to have a conclusion.
Yes.
So this happens and it leads to this. You get a conclusion. The interesting thing about you, John, is that you understand a lot of what you're reading, but when you have to use your own words, that's when you, oh gosh, I have to stop this lesson. It's time for another lesson. But when you have to explain yourself, that's when you have some issues. So I'm trying to get you to speak more. You're doing really well with these difficult questions. I'm going to stop the broadcast now.